My life plunged into the pages of a dark romance novel, and I was cast as the stand-in boyfriend for the beautiful, broken female lead. I spent 2 years helping her heal, putting the pieces of her life back together. But after I left, she followed me out of the story and into the real world. Now, facing the woman whose obsession once drove her to madness, I have to ask myself, can I trust that she's really changed, or is it time to run again? 1. The rain tapped a restless rhythm against the window of my high-rise office. I leaned back in my chair, staring at the screen, my heart a tangled mess. 3 months ago, I was trapped inside the world of a novel called Vance's Vow, desperately trying to save its main character, Clara Reed. Thinking back, it all feels like a bizarre, feverish dream. Clara, a woman the author had painted with strokes of paranoia and obsession, was driven to the edge by the betrayal of the novel's hero, Julian Vance. In the book, she'd imprisoned him and hurt those around him, ultimately choosing to end her own life and take him with her in the story's tragic finale. And me? I was just an ordinary editor for an online fiction platform. After pulling an all-nighter, I died from exhaustion and somehow woke up inside the story. I had been physically pulled into the narrative, cast as a nobody who just happened to look exactly like Julian Vance, a perfect substitute. I spent 2 full years doing everything I could to understand her, to be patient with her, to help her heal. I went with her to therapy, helped her learn how to trust people again, and supported her step by painful step as she clawed her way out of the darkness. 2. Just when I thought we'd finally made it, that everything was going to be okay, the original hero, her great lost love, Julian Vance, came back from overseas. The moment he returned, I saw the old light reignite in her eyes. In that same instant, I saw my own place in her heart for what it was. I was nothing more than a placeholder, a tool she'd used to fill the void. So, I chose to leave, and in doing so, I found my way back to the real world. Mr. Evans, your coffee. My assistant, Kevin, walked in, interrupting my thoughts. Thanks. I took the mug, the bitter taste spreading across my tongue. While I came back to reality, I discovered I was now the general manager of a successful media company. Maybe it was compensation from whatever cosmic force sent me there. Maybe it was just fate, but my life was by all accounts pretty good. So why couldn't I stop thinking about her? I remember the way she looked when she cried, the stars that lit up in her eyes when she smiled, the warmth of her arms wrapped tightly around me. Mr. Evans, Kevin said, poking his head back in, a strange look on his face. There's a young woman at the front desk asking for you. Says it's urgent. My chest tightened. What does she look like? She's beautiful, but she looks exhausted. She's been crying. She said her name is Clara Reed, and that you would definitely see her. The coffee mug slipped from my grasp, shattering on the hardwood floor. Clara, how could she be here? How could she have crossed over from a fictional world into reality? Mr. Evans, are you okay? Kevin asked, his voice laced with concern. I took a deep breath, my mind racing. Send her up. 3. The office door swung open, and a familiar figure appeared in the doorway. Clara stood there in a simple white dress, her hair slightly disheveled. Her eyes were red and swollen from crying. She was thinner than I remembered, so fragile she looked like a strong gust of wind could carry her away. Leo, she whispered, fresh tears welling up the moment she saw me. You're really here? I struggled to keep my voice steady. How is this possible? I don't know. She shook her head, tears streaming down her face. All I knew was that I had to find you. From the day you left, I started searching. I looked all over the city. I asked everyone I could. And then one day, I just appeared here. I stared at her, a whirlwind of emotions churning inside me. Her presence here defied all logic. What are you doing here, Clara? I asked, my tone colder than I intended. 4. She walked toward me, her steps hesitant. I know I was wrong, Leo. I shouldn't have treated you like that. Shouldn't have used you as a substitute. I finally understand now. The person I love is you, not him. That's enough. I shot up from my chair. Clara, get a grip. The person you love will always be Julian Vance, the real Julian Vance. I was just an imposter, a stand-in. No, she cried, shaking her head frantically. It wasn't until he came back that I realized. It wasn't him I missed. It was you. After you were gone, I thought about you every single day. I thought about you taking me to my therapy appointments, about the meals you cooked for me, about the warmth of your arms when you held me and told me everything would be okay. I turned away, unable to look her in the eye. Leo, don't you remember? Her voice cracked. That night during the thunderstorm, I was so sick. You stayed by my side all night. You told me that no matter what happened, you would never leave me. Her voice dissolved into a sob. But you lied. You left. I squeezed my eyes shut as the memory flooded back. She'd been burning up with a fever, trembling in my arms. I had held her close, whispering promises that I would always be there, that I'd never let her go. I only said that because I felt sorry for you. I forced myself to say, Clara, you need to go back. Go back to your world, back to Julian Vance. 5. I won't. She rushed forward and threw her arms around me, holding on with a desperate strength. I could feel the warmth of her body, smell the familiar scent of her perfume, and the walls I had built around my heart began to crumble. Leo, please, she sobbed in my shoulder. Don't push me away again. I know I hurt you, but please, just give me a chance to make it right. I gently pushed her away, looking at her tear-streaked face. Clara, you don't understand. We're from different worlds. We can't be together. Why not? She asked stubbornly. I found my way to you. Doesn't that prove that anything is possible? I let out a bitter laugh. Even if it is, are you so sure that it's me you love, and not just the idea of him? She faltered. Clara, have you ever considered, I pressed, that maybe what you're feeling right now is just the fear of loss, that you only think you want me because I'm gone. Maybe the person you truly love is still the real Julian Vance. No, it's not, she stammered, but the conviction in her voice had vanished. Seeing the confusion in her eyes felt like a knife twisting in my gut. Go home, Clara. I turned and walked to the window, putting my back to her. Go back to your world and live your life. Behind me, I heard her heart-wrenching sobs fill the silence of the room. 6. Clara didn't leave. The next day when I got to work, I saw her sitting in the coffee shop in the lobby of my building. She stood up the moment she saw me, but didn't approach. And so it went. Every day, she was there waiting. At first, I ignored her, but her quiet persistence was impossible to dismiss. She grew more haggard each day. Sometimes I'd see her slumped in a chair, fast asleep. Mr. Evans, Kevin finally said after a week, that woman has been downstairs every day. She doesn't look so good. Maybe you should. It's fine. I cut him off, but I was lying to myself. I couldn't ignore her. That night, I worked late. As I walked out of the building, I saw her still waiting. The coffee shop had closed hours ago, and she was just standing by the glass doors, her thin frame shivering in the cold night air. I stopped, my heart aching as I looked at her lonely silhouette. Clara, I said. She turned, a flicker of surprise in her tired eyes. What are you still doing here? I asked. Waiting for you, she answered simply, her voice hoarse. Waiting for me to do what? To change your mind. She looked at me, a resolve in her eyes I had never seen before. Leo, I'm not giving up. I sighed, a wave of exhaustion washing over me. Clara, this is pointless. It's not, she insisted. At least I know I'm fighting for the love I feel. I looked at her, my resolve wavering in the face of her conviction. Are you hungry? I finally asked. She nodded, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. Come on, I said. I'll get you something to eat. 7. We ended up at a 24-hour diner. She ordered a bowl of soup, but barely touched it. You can't go on like this, Clara, I said. You're going to make yourself sick. I don't care, she said stubbornly. I'm not going to eat properly until you forgive me. I frowned. Are you trying to blackmail me? No, it's a plea, she said, her eyes earnest. Leo, I know I did so many things wrong, but I truly understand that now. I'm not asking you to forgive me right away, but please, just give me a chance to prove myself. And how would you do that? I'll do anything for you, she said seriously. I can learn to cook, to take care of someone. I can become the kind of person you'd want to be with. I shook my head. Clara, you should never change yourself for anyone. Then what do you want me to do? She asked, her voice edged with desperation. I was silent for a long time. Finally, I spoke. Clara, I need time. A spark of light returned to her eyes. Are you saying you'll give me a chance? I'm just saying I need time to think, I clarified. And during that time, I don't want you waiting for me outside my office anymore. She nodded quickly. I promise. but you have to promise you won't avoid me. Okay. For the next few days, Clara kept her word. She didn't show up at my building, but she texted me simple messages, asking if I was having a good day, if I'd eaten. At first, I replied. Then I stopped, but the texts kept coming every single day. Until one afternoon, I received a different kind of message. Leo, I'm sick. It's pretty bad. If you still care about me at all, please come see me. Address, City General Hospital, room 1205. My heart dropped, no matter what had happened between us. I couldn't stand the thought of her being truly hurt. I rushed to the hospital and pushed open the door to her room. She was lying in bed, pale and hooked up to an 4. Clara. I hurried to her bedside. What happened? She looked surprised to see me. You came. Don't talk. How are you feeling? I asked, my voice tight with worry. I'm okay. Just a fever, she said weakly. The doctor said it was from exhaustion and not eating right. I frowned. What have you been doing? I've been learning to cook, she whispered. I want to learn how to make your favorite dishes. A warmth spread through my chest, but I kept my expression stern. You don't have to do that. I want to, she insisted. Leo, I'm not acting. I genuinely want change, to become someone who deserves you. I looked at her, and another one of my walls began to crumble. Just get some rest, I said. We can talk about everything else later. She nodded, then slowly reached out and took my hand. Leo, thank you for coming, she said, her eyes filled with a familiar warmth. I didn't pull my hand away. I just sat there in silence. Leo, can I ask you something? She said after a moment. What is it? Back in that world, when you were helping me, did you really mean it? Was any of it real for you? I hesitated for a long moment, then gave a slow nod. That's enough for me, she said with a faint smile. At least I know that for a little while, you truly did love me. I looked at her smile, and my heart ached. Clara, you don't have to say anything, she interrupted. I know you're still hesitant, still scared, but I'll wait for you, for as long as it takes. I squeezed her hand. Clara, if we were to really try this, can you promise me you won't ever become like you were before? I promise, she said, her gaze unwavering. I understand now. Loving someone isn't about possessing them. It's about wanting them to be happy. If the day ever comes that you don't love me anymore, I'll let you go. I looked into her eyes and saw nothing but sincerity. Clara, I said, I need more time. I know, she nodded. I'll be here. After leaving the hospital, I couldn't stop thinking about us. Clara had changed. There was no doubt about it. She was gentler, more considerate, but a part of me was still terrified to trust her completely. After all, I'd seen firsthand how obsessive and dangerous she could be. Mr. Evans, you seem a little down lately, Kevin remarked one afternoon. I shook my head. It's nothing. Is it about Miss Reed? He ventured. I glanced up at him. How do you know about that? Well, for the past few days, she's been helping out at the flower shop downstairs. She told the owner she was waiting for you to come around. The owner says she's a hard worker and a really nice person. I frowned. She's working at the flower shop? Yeah. You didn't know? I shook my head, immediately dropping what I was doing and heading for the elevator. The boutique florist was right next to my building's entrance. I pushed open the glass door and saw her immediately. She was watering a row of plants, her movements gentle and focused. Clara. She turned, her face lighting up when she saw me. Leo, what are you doing here? I heard you were working here. I am. The owner was kind enough to let me help out, she said. I wanted to learn a skill, so I can stand on my own 2 feet. I looked at her, a complex wave of emotions washing over me. You don't have to do this, I said softly. I want to, she replied earnestly. Leo, I don't want to be a burden to you. I want to be an independent person, someone who is worthy of you. My eyes fell to the flower she was holding, and a memory sparked. Do you remember? I asked. Back in that world, what was your favorite flower? She paused for a second, then nodded. Lilies. You said they represented pure love. I walked over to a bucket of white lilies and picked one from the bunch. Clara, I have to ask you one more question, I said. Anything. If one day, the real Julian Vance appeared in this world, who would you choose? She looked me straight in the eye, without a hint of hesitation. I would choose you. Why? Because you were the one who saved me, she said, her voice full of emotion. You were the one who stayed with me through my darkest moments. Leo, I understand now. It was never about him. or his name, or his money. It was about his heart. And you have the kindest heart in the world. I looked at her, and the final wall around my heart finally came crashing down. Clara, you don't have to give me an answer right now, she said gently. I'll wait. I handed her the white lily. Clara, just give me a little more time. Please. She took the flower and nodded, a hopeful smile on her face. I'll wait. That night, I couldn't sleep. I replayed every moment we'd shared in that fictional world. Every smile, every tear, the feeling of her holding on to me for dear life. Maybe it was time to trust her. Maybe it was time to give us a real chance. The next morning, I went to work early, planning to talk to her. But when I got there, the flower shop was open, and Clara was nowhere to be seen. Is Clara here? I asked the owner. The owner shook her head. She left late last night. Said she had an emergency. A knot of dread formed in my stomach. I pulled out my phone and called her, but it went straight to voicemail. I spent the rest of the day searching for her. I went to the diner, the hospital, every place I could think of, but she was gone. Just as I was about to give up, my phone buzzed with a text message. Leo, I've gone back. Thank you for the wonderful time we had. Please forget me and live a happy life. I stared at the screen, a suffocating panic rising in my chest. She went back to the world of the novel. I wouldn't let her go. Not like this. I raced home, threw open my laptop, and pulled up the webpage for Vance's vow. I scrolled frantically, looking for any clue, any change in the story. But everything was exactly as it had been written. I tried to will myself back into that world, to find a way in, but nothing worked. I slumped over the keyboard, completely defeated. It was only then, in the crushing silence of my apartment, that I finally admitted the truth to myself. I was in love with her, not out of pity or guilt, but truly, deeply in love. And now, I had lost her. I couldn't give up. If she could find a way from her world to mine, there had to be a way for me to get back to hers. I became obsessed, diving into research on theoretical physics, metaphysics, urban legends, anything that might hold a clue. A month went by with no results. I was on the verge of despair when a small package arrived. Inside was a single, withered lily and a handwritten letter. It was from Clara. Leo, by the time you read this, I will be back in my world. I know you'll try to find me, but please don't. We come from different places, and we were never meant to be together. I'm so grateful that you saved me, and I'll cherish the memories we made. But now it's time for both of us to get back to our own lives. Please forget about me. Find someone who truly belongs in your world. I will be in mine, wishing you happiness, always. Tears blurred my vision as I read her words. You foolish girl, I whispered, clutching the dried flower. How could you make that decision for me? I love you. It doesn't matter what world you're in, I will find you. As the words left my lips, a sudden wave of dizziness washed over me. The world around me started to warp and blur, and I felt an invisible force pulling me apart. When I opened my eyes again, I was standing in a familiar place. Julian Vance's sprawling penthouse apartment from the novel. I made it. I was back. Without a second thought, I ran to Clara's room and threw open the door. She was sitting by the window, holding a single white lily. Clara, I shouted. She spun around, her eyes widening in disbelief. Leo, how did you? I'm here to take you home, I said, striding toward her. No, you can't be here, she said, jumping to her feet. It's dangerous. He's back. I froze. Julian. Clara nodded, her eyes filled with fear. He knows I want to find you. He's furious. He said if I ever try to leave again, he would. He would what? I demanded. He would hurt you, she said, her voice trembling. Leo, please, you have to go. Leave before he finds you. I'm not leaving, I said firmly. Clara, I came here to take you with me, and I'm not leaving without you. You can't, I won't go with you, she shook her head. I can't let you get hurt because of me. Just then, the door swung open. A man walked in, the spitting image of me, but with an aura of cold arrogance. It was him, Julian Vance, the novel's true protagonist. His eyes landed on me, and a flash of fury crossed his face. So you're the imposter. I stared back at him, feeling a surge of raw hostility. I'm not an imposter. I'm the one who actually loves her. He let out a cold laugh. Love? Who do you think you are? You're just an accident, an outsider who stumbled into my story. What right do you have to love her? What right do I have? I shot back, my voice rising. What right do you? You're the one who hurt her, who betrayed her and broke her. I'm the one who spent 2 years helping her heal, staying by her side, and protecting her. Enough, he roared. Clara is my wife. She always will be. As for you, you should go back to wherever you came from. I'm not going anywhere, I said, standing my ground. Not unless Clara tells me herself that she doesn't love me. Julian's cold gaze shifted to Clara. Clara, tell him that I'm the one you love. Clara looked between the two of us, her face a mask of agony. She couldn't speak. Clara, you don't have to be afraid, I said gently. Just tell me the truth. She looked at me, and the tears she'd been holding back finally fell. Leo, I love you, she choked out. I really, truly love you. Hearing Clara's confession, Julian's face turned to stone. Clara, do you have any idea what you're saying? He threatened. You are my wife. You belong to me. I'm not your property. Clara suddenly yelled, her voice ringing with newfound strength. Julian, I'm not the same woman who used to love you blindly. I know what real love is now, and I know what real happiness feels like. Julian was stunned into silence. The man I love is Leo, Clara continued, her voice growing stronger with every word. He's the one who was with me, who saved me when I was at my lowest. All you ever did was cause me pain. I looked at her, overwhelmed with love and pride. Clara, Leo, let's go, she said, taking my hand. Let's leave this place and go back to our world. Leaving? Julian sneered. You think I'm just going to let you walk out of here? He moved to block the doorway. Julian, what are you doing? I asked, stepping in front of Clara. I'm making you stay, he said with a vicious look. Since you love this world so much, you can stay here forever. A sense of dread washed over me. What do you mean? I decide the rules of this world, he said calmly. I can let you in, and I can also make sure you never, ever leave. I stared at him, horrified. As the hero of this world, he had power I couldn't possibly fight. Leo, just go, Clara pleaded. Don't worry about me. I will never leave you behind, I said, then turned back to Julian. What do you want? It's simple, he said. Clara chooses. Either she stays with me, and I let you go, or she stays with you, and you both remain trapped in this world for eternity. Clara's face went white. You, how could you? It's just who I am, he said coldly. Make your choice, Clara. I looked at Clara, my heart breaking for her. No, she cried, shaking her head. I won't stay with him. Leo, I would rather be trapped here with you forever than spend another minute with him. I was moved beyond words, but also terrified for her. Clara, you can't. You have a whole life to live. You can't throw it away for me. You are my life, she cut me off. A life without you means nothing to me. I looked into her determined eyes and felt a surge of courage. All right, I said, squeezing her hand. Then we'll face it together. I looked Julian straight in the eye. We choose each other, no matter the cost. Julian stared at us, a flicker of some unreadable emotion in his eyes. You're really choosing this? He asked. Yes, Clara and I said in unison. He was quiet for a long time before letting out a heavy sigh. Maybe I really was wrong, he murmured. Clara, I thought I loved you, but I'm only just now realizing that all I ever loved was the feeling of possessing you, not you as a person. We watched him waiting. Julian slowly walked to the window, his back to us. He said, his voice barely a whisper. I always believed that if I was powerful enough, I could have anything I wanted. I'm just now learning that some things can't be taken by force. Clara tightened her grip on my hand. Julian, I'm jealous of him, he said, turning to look at me. I'm jealous that he's the one who can make you smile like that, the one who made you so gentle. All I ever did was make you miserable. Leo, he said, his eyes on me. Will you swear to me that you will never hurt her? Without a moment's hesitation, I nodded. I swear, I will spend my life protecting her and making sure she never feels an ounce of pain again. He seemed to be searching for something in my eyes. I believe you, he finally said, because I can see it. The light in your eyes is the same as the light in hers. Julian, Clara looked at him, stunned. I'm letting you go, he said. Go and live the life you want. I felt the air in the room begin to shift, to hum with a strange energy. Wait, I said suddenly. Julian, what will happen to you? He offered a sad smile. I'll stay here. I'll continue my story. Maybe I'll learn how to truly love someone. Julian, thank you, Clara said, her eyes wet with tears. I'll remember your kindness. Don't thank me. He shook his head. I'm just doing what I should have done a long time ago. Be happy, Clara. A bright light began to envelop us, and I felt a warm, pulling sensation. Leo, we're really leaving, Clara said, holding me tight. Yeah, I said, holding her just as tightly. We're going home. When we opened our eyes, we were standing on the sidewalk outside my office building. The familiar sounds of the city, the familiar skyline. We were back in the real world. We really made it back, Clara said, looking around in awe. I looked down at her, a wave of pure happiness washing over me. Clara, I'm never letting you go again, I said. I'm never leaving again, she smiled. Leo, let's go home. We walked hand in hand down the street, just another couple in the bustling city. Leo, Clara said suddenly, can I ask you something? Anything. If someday you get tired of me, will you tell me? I stopped walking and turned to face her, taking both of her hands in mine. Clara, I will never get tired of you. But if for some impossible reason that day ever comes, I will tell you. Because there should never be anything but honesty between us. She nodded. Me too. Leo, let's make a promise. No matter what happens, we'll always be honest with each other. Deal, I said, holding out my pinky. She laughed and hooked her pinky with mine. Pinky swear, we said together. 6 months later, we bought a small condo downtown and started our new life. Clara learned how to cook. She wasn't a master chef by any means, but everything she made tasted like heaven to me. I taught her how to drive, which was an exercise in terror, but she was a determined student. We went to the movies, we browsed through shops, we took long walks in the park. We lived a simple, happy life, just like any other ordinary couple. One evening, Clara came home bursting with excitement. Leo, I have great news. What is it? I asked. I got a job, she beamed. The owner of a flower shop wants to hire me as the manager. I stared at her, amazed. Really? Really, she nodded. She said I have a great eye and I'm very meticulous. Leo, I can finally support myself. I pulled her into a hug. Clara, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for always believing in me. Leo, she mumbled into my chest. I never would have made it here without you. Don't be silly, I said, stroking her hair. You've always been brilliant. You just needed the chance to let it show. Let's go out and celebrate tonight, she suggested. Absolutely. Where to? How about that diner where we had our first real meal together? That night, we went back to the 24-hour diner. We sat in the same booth, under the same fluorescent lights, but the feeling was completely different. Do you remember? Clara asked. The first time we came here, all I ordered was a bowl of soup. I remember. I nodded. You looked so worn out. I was so worried about you. Back then, I thought I'd never be happy again, she said softly. But now I feel like the luckiest person in the world. I watched the genuine smile play on her lips and felt a profound sense of contentment. I'm pretty happy myself, Clara, I told her. Leo, I have a secret to tell you, she said, leaning in conspiratorially. What is it? The truth is, from the very first day I arrived in this world, I knew I never wanted to go back, she said. Because you were here. I reached across the table and took her hand. Well, I have a secret for you two. What's that? The truth is, from the first moment I saw you, I knew I was going to fall in love with you, I said. Not out of pity, not out of guilt, but because I knew, somehow, that you were the one I had been looking for. Her eyes glistened with tears. Leo, Clara, marry me, I said, the words feeling more right than anything I'd ever said. She stared at me, speechless. What? I pulled a small box from my pocket and opened it to reveal a simple diamond ring. Marry me, Clara Reed. I said, my voice thick with emotion. Let's be together forever. The tears finally spilled over, streaming down her cheeks. Leo, yes, she sobbed. Yes, I will marry you. I slid the ring onto her finger and leaned across the table to kiss her. I love you, Clara, I whispered. I love you too, Leo, she whispered back. A year later, we got married. It was a small ceremony with just a few friends and colleagues. But to us, It was the most perfect wedding in the world. Clara, in a simple white dress, looked like an angel. As she walked down the aisle toward me, I knew I was the luckiest man alive. Leo, do you take Clara to be your wife, to have and to hold, in sickness and in health, for richer or poorer, to love and to cherish, for as long as you both shall live? I do, I said, my voice unwavering. And Clara, do you take Leo to be your husband, to have and to hold, in sickness and in health, for richer or poorer, to love and to cherish, for as long as you both shall live? I do, she answered through happy tears. You may now kiss the bride, the officiant announced. I leaned in and kissed her as our friends applauded. In that moment, I knew our story had found its perfect ending. 2 years later, we had our first child, a beautiful baby girl. Clara named her Hope. Leo, who do you think she looks like? Clara asked, cradling our daughter in her arms. She looks like you, I said. She has your eyes, your smile. I hope she has your kindness, Clara said, and your warm heart. I looked at our daughter, my heart swelling with a love so immense I thought it might burst. Thank you, Clara, I said. Thank you for making my life so beautiful. I should be thanking you, she replied. Leo, meeting you is the luckiest thing that ever happened to me. We smiled at each other and then turned to look out the window together. The sun was setting, casting a golden glow over our small family. Our home was filled with a warmth and love that had once only existed in a dream. Sometimes I still think about that fictional world and about the original Julian Vance. I wonder how he is and if he ever found a happiness of his own. But then I look at Clara and our daughter, and I know that no matter what, we will cherish what we have built. Our story had a difficult, impossible beginning, but our ending is more beautiful than anything I could have ever edited or written. As Clara once said, some loves are worth crossing worlds to protect. And we did.